I'm alive. Hey y'all. Impromptu birthday live. Let me just send this out. Of course. Y'all know how I do. I just be popping in, popping out, right? So let me send this out. Give me 1 second. Hi everyone. We're gonna get started really, really soon. Y'all know how I do. I just be popping in and then like saying what's up and then getting out of here. I hope you all are doing well. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. I hope. Try plugging in, move closer to it. Why is my Wi-Fi so trash? I purchased the best Wi-Fi and it's still acting up. Hopefully that is better. Hopefully that's better. So hello everyone. I'm just popping in right quick first to say happy birthday to me. Glory be to the Most High for giving me another year around the sun. I hope this does not act up, this Wi-Fi. Okay, so I sent all my messages out. So I want to say hi, everyone. Good morning. If you are in the East Coast, thank you. Thank you so much. Good morning. If you're in the East Coast, good afternoon. I really wanted to jump on here for a couple of things. One, to say thank you, God, for giving me another year around the sun. Happy birthday to me. Today is my birthday. And I turned 35. And I wanted to kind of give the lessons that I've learned along this spiritual journey as I've been a part of it, and a couple of the mistakes that I've made. And hopefully, from learning from my mistakes, you guys don't make the same ones. Doing this spiritual journey is not easy. There's a lot of ups, there's a lot of downs to it. And there's some pitfalls that you can fall into as you go along this path. And so, one of the things that I learned along the way when I first entered into mentorship that you guys can learn from me is that romanticism isn't just for your lovers. And I learned that as I was doing my ancestral veneration. So, if you don't know, ancestral veneration is your offering plus your obligation is your ancestral veneration. So, when you're creating your altar for your ancestors, of course, you should be laying offerings. Of course, you should be cooking for your ancestors. Of course, you should be sending out your prayers and sending out your obligations and telling your ancestors what it is that you want for them to do for you and manifest into your life. Um, but I struggled with giving obligation because I don't know if y'all had this growing up, but I grew up in a small church where everyone had a duty. I don't know if y'all had this. If you grew up in a small Baptist church, then you should know that every church member had a duty. You couldn't just come to church and not do nothing, which sometimes was a bit of a drag. But before you had a duty, they would give out these quizzes. They would give out these quizzes and it would tell you what kind of gifts you had from God, and also what kind of heart you had. So some people had hearts to sing, some people had hearts for children, some people had hearts for elderly or battered women. And for me, I had the heart to serve, I had the heart to give. Um, and so I always was someone that loved giving without asking in return. And so one of the pitfalls that I had found myself in when doing ancestral veneration was I struggled with asking for what it is that I needed. And I struggled with telling my ancestors what to do for me. And so as I went along my journey, of course, I was like, I need to make sure I'm doing offering plus obligation, but I need to find something that feels comfortable for my heart, and feels comfortable for my spirit to just give without asking for anything in return. So I encourage you all to designate days where, if you're struggling like me and you don't know what to tell your ancestors, or if you're just someone that just doesn't like asking for things, and that's not from a place of lack, that's just from a place of your love language where you just love giving. Designate time to just romance your ancestors. So on Saturdays, I would give my ancestors their offerings, I'll give them their obligation. And then after Saturday, I would designate times to just spend time with them. I started to view my relationship with my ancestors as my relationship with anybody else in my life, whether it was my lover, whether it was my mother, whether it was my brother, my father, my friends. I realized that in order to really deepen this relationship with my ancestors, I need to look at it like any of my other relationships. And I need to spend time with them and treat them like I would any other person in my life, because they're not just spirits that wander around the world. They were my family, they were my friends, they were people that raised me. So I designated time to buy them weekly flowers. I designated time to just spend with them and do date nights. I would do candlelight dinners. I would watch movies with them. I started to really love on them like I would love on myself. And if you're someone that struggles with just having relationships in general, this is the perfect time. Oh, Lord, everyone's texting me. This is the perfect time to learn how to be a good person within your relationships. Some of us know how to be good people on the internet. Some of us know how to be good people at our jobs, but we don't know how to be friends. We don't know how to be supportive siblings. And so, if you're someone that struggles with maintaining friendships in your life, this is the perfect time to learn how to be a friend, learn how to be a dedicated sibling or student to your ancestors. And so, that's one of the pitfalls that I fell into when I first got on this journey. I did not know how to give obligations. And if, it's not that I didn't want to, it's just I needed to find something that was comfortable for me. And so, if you are someone that is struggling with ancestral veneration, or just you have someone that has a heart to serve like I do and that just wants to give without having anything in return, find designated times to just romance your ancestors, and not in a weird way, guys, please. Not in a weird way, but in a way that deepens your relationship and it makes you feel comfortable with just coming to your ancestors for whatever it is that you need. Because at the end of the day, it's a relationship. And it's a relationship that needs nurturing, that needs love, that needs care. And so treat it like you would any of your other relationships. Now, if you're someone that has volatile relationships, child, this is the time to learn how to be in healthy relationships. Okay. So another one of my pitfalls, I'm not used to asking it. It is really difficult for me. Me too. It was really difficult for me to ask. I was always someone that people relied on to just help them. And this was a whole new thing for me to have to do. And so I had to learn to have grace for myself, as well as find a rhythm for myself. So I can give my ancestors their food, their money, their flowers on Saturday, or sometimes I would do Wednesday and Saturday. And then every other day, I would just do nice things for them. I would talk to them, I would sing to them, I would dance with them. Um, and that's something that you can do as well. To build off of that, um, what I have seen and what I have also fell into, ooh, child, do not hang me at the stake, was getting getting used to the comfortability of having my altar always there. Do not fall into the comfort of always having your ancestors there and not using it. Sometimes we fall into the rhythm of having our altars in our rooms or in our closet or in their own designated areas. We're used to cleaning our altars, we're used to cooking the food for the altars, and that's just it. We just leave the altar there. We don't do nothing with it. We don't pray at the altar. We don't cry at the altar. The altar's there, and that's it. I ain't gotta do shit else. Don't do that. And it will happen at one point in time in your journey where you fall into the comfort of being comfortable. Is that a thing? Is that a thing to say? The comfort of being comfortable? The cause of comfort? Is that something I should say? Don't get comfortable. Don't get too comfortable with just having your altar there and not giving it any sort of love or care. Um, and that is something that I fell into maybe a little later on in my journey, where I was so used to my altar being there. I was so used to just lighting my candle, sometimes doing work on it, and then I just left it there. And I stopped talking to the altar. I stopped praying at my altar. I got so, yes, that's right, complacency. Don't get complacent along this journey. Don't get so comfortable that your altar's there and not do anything with it. Um, I'm always going to reference this because I grew up in a Baptist church in Michigan, in a small town in Michigan. It was in a shack. It was in a dirty old shack. And it taught me a lot. But one of the things that my pastor that I grew up with, will always say was, it doesn't matter where you are in your life or where you are in this journey. Don't forget that God is always there. And don't forget that when you're in times of trouble, when you're in times of despair, when you're in times of joy, to lay it on the altar. And so along my journey, not only was I neglecting sometimes my altar, ooh, I hate that I'm putting myself on blast. It's so cringy, but I believe in transparency. Along my journey, not only did I get complacent at times, but I forgot that I could lay my pain on the altar. I forgot that I could come to my ancestors when I wasn't just in joy, but when I was in despair. Sometimes I didn't want to talk about it. I would just go in my little corner and not say nothing and just be like, whatever. And I know they saw what was going on with me. And I know they were in the corner like, girl, come on, like, just tell me what it is that you need and I will help you. But along the journey, I forgot that I could lay it on the altar. And so I wanted to encourage you all that no matter where you are in your journey, whether you're a novice, whether you're seasoned, to not get into the habit of thinking you can do things on your own. Don't fall into the habit of just doing magic and forgetting that the best magic that you can use is by using the power of your voice and using the power of prayer. Priestess Oshun K always talks about it, but the P in priestess is prayer, or the P in priest is prayer. Don't forget that the most powerful thing you have is your voice. And so don't forget, and don't get so comfortable with magic that you forget that doing nothing with your hands but doing everything with your words is more than enough. um, lay it on the altar. Tell your ancestors what's going on, whether it's messy, because child, sometimes we fall into messy habits, whether it's a man, whether it's a job, whether it's a pandemic. Lay it out and let it go. And when you do that, wow, everything changes. Don't be stubborn like I did. Don't be in your own way. I know I did that for months where I was in my own way. I didn't want to tell them. I'm like, mm-mm, no, I got it. No, I'm the garden goddess. Like, I can handle anything. Watch me light this candle and things change. Watch me light this lamp and things change. And they're like, girl, why don't you just tell me what it is that you need and I got you? And the last thing that I wanted to tell you about, that I learned along this journey, is that your prayers don't have to be perfect. They just have to be heart centered. They have to be from the heart. They just have to make sense to you and your ancestors. They don't have to make sense to everybody else. If you've learned how to pray, you know that you should be using the PRAY method, which is praise, repent, ask, and yes. Or you can use scripture in that why. And y'all, I have a lot of Virgo placements. So I am a perfectionist. I I admit it, hand on the Bible. Hey, y'all, like I I'm not going to say my name. I, the garden goddess, I am a perfectionist and I admit it. Yes, I'm a perfectionist. And so I would get so caught up in wanting to write the perfect prayer to say the most powerful, the most potent, the most the most wordsmith. Like I just wanted my prayers to just be so beautiful and so perfect that I would just write them, scratch it, write them and scratch it, not knowing that powerful prayers come from the heart. Powerful prayers are heartfelt. Powerful prayers are well intentioned, and that's all that matters. And even when you're in your most darkest times, even silent prayers are powerful. And I forgot that along the way. Girl, ain't nothing like a good silent prayer when you don't have the words to talk about your pain or the words to talk about your anger, but your heart is saying everything. Your ancestors can hear that. And I want to encourage you all that your prayers don't have to be perfect. They just have to be heart centered. Um, they just have to mean something. And as long as you have that, that is the most important ingredient in all of your prayers. As long as you have that, then that's all that matters. Um, so those are the things that I have learned along the way of my own spiritual journey. And I don't do these things now, so don't be trying to clock me and being like, the garden goddess says she don't clean her altar, and the garden goddess says she don't be praying. I pray, and that altar is very clean. But those are some of the mistakes that I made along my journey, and I hope that that encourages you all that your spiritual journey doesn't have to be perfect. It's not linear. It's not linear. You will have your ups, you will have your downs, you will have your moments where sometimes you neglect the things that you ain't supposed to neglect. You're supposed to do better, but you just fall into your slump. So those are things that I did. Um, and those are things that you can do. And so in honor of my birthday, and thank you all for the birthday wishes, I wanted to gift you all the 3 lessons that I've learned along my journey, my long journey that is still going. So if you like what you heard today, I have a patreon.com/the garden goddess, where I give exclusive content, spell work. I also have a new segment on my YouTube called Planting Seeds, where I break down herbalism, magical herbalism, going through the historical, medicinal, and magical values of herbs one by one for those of you that don't know this. And for those of you that just want to deepen your knowledge of herbalism, I also have a mentorship. Today is the last day to sign up. It's called Becoming the Emperor, where we learn about healing, transforming, and manifesting our dream life. And we learn from lessons such as this that I've shared with you all today. Today is the last day to sign up. If you haven't already, I put the link in the description in the description box where you can sign up. I also have a prosperity ritual happening December 1st that you all can sign up for. I'll probably put it in the comments as well as a Discord group. So, yeah, I thank you all today for watching. You all mean so much to me. I just wanted to hop on here really, really quick and kind of share what I've learned along the way. And I hope you all enjoy your Sunday. I hope you all enjoy your Thanksgiving because that's around the corner. I hope you all don't go crazy on Black Friday. And I will talk to you all very, very, very soon. I love you all so dearly, so much. Okay. Bye now. Have a great Sunday.